My name is Anja Samsom. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm currently a junior studying computer science and information systems at UVM. And in addition to being a student at the school, I'm also a tour guide, and then I'm also the vice president of Society of Women in Computer Science. So I'll do a lot of things with the computer science department at UVM, like organizing the computer science fair and helping with all the social media and just doing a lot of outreach specifically for women in computer science. So that's basically what I spend most of my time on. I decided to go to the Math Institute in the summer after my sophomore year of high school because the year before that I had kind of accidentally sent myself to what ended up being a hunting camp, and that was not quite my vibe. So then my mom had suggested that I sign up to go to Governor's Institute of Vermont, the Math Institute, which now I and kind of everyone affectionately call Math Camp. So I went to Math Camp and didn't expect very much except hoping that there would be some fun, cool people to meet and maybe do some interesting types of math. I really didn't know what I was going to be getting into. And then I got there and just met some of the best people that have been my entire life, enough to kind of want to come back the second year and then keep on coming back for years. And I was a counselor, but I've been involved with the program for 5 years, which is kind of wild when I think about it because it feels like just yesterday that I was back at Math Camp. It was really cool because it actually was hosted on Redstone campus here at UVM. And that's where I am now. So it's kind of like every day is reminding me a little bit of GIV, which is very nice. I really like how it does a good job of kind of meeting people where they are and encouraging them to step out of their comfort zone, but not in such a way that you feel like you're thrown into something that you're have never experienced before. I really like how they do have you apply for a certain institute and then you go to the one that you wanted to, so that you know that you're going to be exploring all these wild things, but they're all going to be based in math or based in art or whatever you do. Because I feel like it's very important to kind of figure out cool things that you want to do and to step out of your comfort zone. You have to first have that layer of comfort and home so that you're not fully just throwing yourself out in the deep end. So I really appreciate that with GIV. Also, I feel like in comparison to coming to college and to all my computer science classes at schools and just in life, one of the most diverse places that I've been in was Governor's Institute, and that's probably why it does so well, is because it draws from a bunch of different high schools. It has people of lots of different genders and races and ages, which I think is really important that they definitely consider that diversity when they review the applications, because even though I was at a math camp, which you would think would be very low levels of girls who were there, I never felt like I was one of the few girls, because they did a really good job of definitely balancing gender, which was very nice. It was kind of one of the first times that I felt like I was in something STEM related and that I wasn't thought I was one of the few girls in STEM, which was really important to me. And I think definitely pushed me to then do more, which was awesome. People will just think of what they think of, at least for math. They'll be like, oh, this is what I think a math camp is. And you picture, at least I did, kind of a bunch of nerdy boys doing calculus in a basement somewhere. And that's not what it was at all. There were a bunch of very cool people and very different people who were very fun to be around, and I really enjoyed it. At Math Camp, we have a very deep embedded board game culture. So we'll play One Night Ultimate Werewolf almost every night is what we do. It's this very fun game. It's kind of like Mafia, but it's a bit of a deception lying game, which is very fun. Math Camp kids are incredibly good at ping pong. I don't think I've ever seen better ping pong players in my life. They would go around in circles and 4 people would play at once and they would rotate for one position. It was wild. And then at night, we'd do a lot of things like playing sardines or manhunt outside around the UVM campus. So I really thought it was a great balance of lectures and then fun activities that you're probably gonna like if you're at all interested in math and kind of puzzles and stuff like that and problem solving, and then just getting to go outside and run around with people. I really enjoyed it. I think it was a very cool balance the way that they worked it out. What I thought was really cool is this actually kind of influenced my decision to go to UVM, was to see that these UVM professors were willing to come and lecture during the summer to a bunch of high schoolers about something that they were super interested in. So it kind of just showed me, for one, just the level of care that UVM professors have, but then also I was impressed that everyone at GIV was able to kind of pull these super amazing people. So we had these great lectures about very interesting things, and they're very concentrated. So you sit and you learn about one thing, and then you might learn about it later in the week a little bit, but you kind of just have a bunch of different interesting mini lectures. So it's kind of just dipping your toes into what college might be like. I'm kind of proud of myself for just signing up in the first place. It was something that I was very worried about. I remember telling my mom about how I didn't want to write all the essays and I was really scared, but it was actually a pretty chill application, which I was glad about. Like, they were asking me questions about things that I was interested in. So I'm kind of proud of myself for getting over that hump and then continuing to go back to GIV Math every year for 5 years and work with them, whether that be a student at the camp or as a counselor, because I don't know, I think it was really cool to get hooked into that community, and I'm glad that I stuck with it and kind of persevered, because it definitely made me more confident in all the things I've done now. But I was really proud of myself and the growth that I had made throughout my first year there, where I picked out a problem and I solved it, and then I presented it to everyone, and I was like, wow, you know, I can do that. And some of the people who I had met too on the first couple of days were also really nervous, like some of them more nervous than me. And then to see them also grow and do it, I was really proud of too. And then kind of coming full circle and being able to be the counselor who is helping kids figure out how to like gain the confidence and the presentation skills and everything that they needed to do to present their math problems and kind of adjust it to meet them where they are. But yeah, just being able to help people out with the same things that I struggled with and then was able to grow from I was pretty proud of. It was very fun.